I'm going to unbox and review the new NETGEAR Orbi 370 series, and I'm going to do my full-on speed test range test using my following Wi-Fi 7 devices. I happen to have the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is another Wi-Fi 7 device, but it can't go quite as fast as these two, so I tend to test with my faster devices. Here's everything that comes inside the box. Contact us with some quick info right here. Cat5e Ethernet cable. And it comes with 3 identical power supplies, which is 100 to 240 volts, and the output is 18 watts of power. We'll start off with the Orbi router. We got some vents on top, vents on the bottom. It looks like it can be wall mounted. I am hiding some info right there. We have a sync button, factory reset, two 2.5 gigabit ports, which means there is no drop at up to 2.5 gigabit speeds. And the yellow one is for the internet, and the other one can go to other devices, or it can go to one of the satellites. And if you wanted to use a switch, it can actually go to both satellites. And then we have the power port right there. In terms of the satellites, they're both identical, so we'll just talk about one of them. Pretty much same exact shape and size as the router, except we only have one 2.5 gigabit port. Now, again, if you don't have another switch, you can only wire backhaul to one and then wireless backhaul to the other, or they can all be in wireless backhaul configuration. So the choice is yours. Fast forward about 2 weeks, I've been running the budget Orbi mesh system as my main mesh system. No drops, nothing unusual during setup, super easy. And I was actually very excited to be testing this thing out because I've tested the bigger brothers, the Orbi 770, 870, and 970. Especially the 970 is an absolute beast of a mesh system. Definitely costs more than this, but it's an absolute beast. So I was excited to see how well this would do. The only thing that I noticed with this thing is when I did an internet speed test on Wi-Fi, it actually went faster than what I was thinking it would do. And when I ran a local speed test, it pretty much went just a little bit slower than the internet speed test, which typically the local speed tests go a little bit faster because I isolate the system, but that's what it was. I ran it with 2 different computers as a server, and those are the speeds that I got. So we'll go over all of that. Okay, so we're going to start off with the internet speed test. As you guys already know, when you're accessing the internet, you are limited by your internet speeds. For me, that would be 5 gigabits per second upload and download. And this router can't go quite as fast. So the router, in my case, is the limitation because these ports are 2.5 gigabits. So as soon as my internet comes in at 5, it actually gets capped to 2.5. But the good thing here is we have two 2.5, so it no longer gets capped after that. So we go out at 2.5 to the satellite. Now, if you're wondering, well, how do you go to both satellites if you only have one port on each? And the simple answer is I'm going to do a setup guide video, and I'll show you guys how to connect it with a switch. So if you guys want to know how to set this thing up, I will be doing a separate setup guide video shortly. When I do a speed test with an Ethernet connected device like my computer, I actually get just under those 2.5 gigabit speeds, so very good smooth sailing. When I do it with Wi-Fi, the internet speed test actually went faster than what I was expecting. I got 1.85 down and 1.88 up. Now, if you're wondering, well, can't Wi-Fi 7 go faster? Didn't you actually do a phone speed test where you actually show it's going faster than that? And the answer is yes. Wi-Fi 7, if you have the correct device, like if you have the OnePlus 13, which is an absolute beast of a phone, it can go faster. However, the mesh system itself also needs to support that. So if you get the bigger brother like the Orbi 770 or the Orbi 870, or if you get the absolute beast Orbi 970, it can actually go faster because it has a faster speed rating. It has the 6 gigahertz band, where this one is actually a dual band system. It just has the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz band, and NETGEAR was basically going for a budget system. Next, we move on to local speed test, which is usually the way to find the true performance of this mesh system because I'm no longer relying on my ISP, my internet service provider, nor the public speed test server, which can vary at times depending on the server and depending on the time you're running it at. So in this way, I actually make my computer into the server, and I go from Wi-Fi device to router to computer. And in the case of wired and wireless backhaul, I go from my Wi-Fi device to the secondary one, which then jumps to the primary one, which then goes to the server. So with these speeds, I actually got slightly less speeds, but still pretty close to the internet speed. So just under 1.8 down and just above 1.8 up for the single router configuration. Then we move on to wired backhaul, and thanks to this thing having both of these being 2.5 gigabit speeds, I was able to get very similar speeds. I mean, a little bit less, but very similar speeds overall on the secondary device. Now the wireless backhaul, this is kind of the weakness of this mesh system, and that's kind of where you're saving the money, because if you want a much more powerful wireless backhaul system, Orbi 870 is amazing for that. Obviously, all the other Orbis, the Orbi 770, the Orbi 870, and the Orbi 970, all do better than this. Obviously, they cost more. Part of the price of getting a more expensive mesh system is it does better in wireless backhaul. This is kind of more designed for a wired backhaul system, or if you don't care too much about the speeds, like let's say if you have security cameras that don't really need a whole lot of speed, then you can use this as a wireless backhaul and you'll still be good to go. Next, we get to range test. Now, range will vary drastically by location. So if you're in between floors, thick walls, essentially the more obstructions you have, typically the less range you're going to get, and typically the more of an open area you're in, typically the more range you're going to get. So I'm more of an open area, so I usually get more range than I used to, at least in the last place I used to live. Okay, so at 20 feet away inside my place, there is a drop, not much, but drop more in the upload than in the download. And then at 50 feet, this is when I'm actually outside my place, and I'm still getting some very good speeds overall, but definitely a drop both in the download and the upload. And at 100 feet away, this is when I'm actually across the street. I'm actually still getting some very usable numbers. Obviously, it dropped both in the download and the upload, but still got some very usable speeds. Moving on to setup and configuration, use the Orbi app for that. And NETGEAR kind of designed this thing for it to be super simple to use with very limited options. It does also offer a browser interface with many more options if you want to go and tinker with some stuff. But with the Orbi app, it kind of walks you through the process when you're setting up, tells you what to connect where. And again, I will do a full setup guide where I will actually show you guys with Ethernet connections, how to connect stuff, and pretty much go into much more detail. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely subscribe and definitely be on the lookout for that video. It should be out very shortly after this video. If this video has been out for more than a week, that video is definitely out. Links below, and also put product links below as well if you guys are interested. All right, so with the Orbi app, as you're walking through the process, then it asks you to pick a Wi-Fi name and password, and with Wi-Fi name being an SSID. And if you want, you can use your existing router's info. And just remember that the SSID and the password, they're both case sensitive. And if you do that, your devices should automatically connect to this new Orbi system. And then you can also make a separate guest Wi-Fi if you wanted to. And if you wanted to, you can make a separate Internet of Things Wi-Fi. That's completely optional, but if you want to do that for your security cameras, basically your smart home devices like your smart light switches and things of that nature, you don't have to, but if you want, you can separate those as well. And so inside the main app, there's not a whole lot of option. It kind of shows you the devices that are connected. You could do some speed tests if you wanted to at the router level, and you can actually do basic parental controls. If you want more advanced parental controls, that does require a separate subscription. Granted, it does come with a free trial if you're interested. And then they also have NETGEAR Armor, which gives you more advanced protections and stuff. And that also comes with a free trial. And then after that, it does require a separate subscription if you're interested in that. You can also enable traffic reports and stuff like that, and you can also check to see if your firmware is up to date. Now, if you want, you can go to the browser interface, which is orbilogin.net. It'll ask you to log in, and the login is basically what you set up when you were setting up the Orbi initially. And then when you go in there, there's a lot more options. You could tinker with a lot more stuff in there. You still get the same Wi-Fi, guest Wi-Fi, Internet of Things Wi-Fi. But in addition to that, you could set up VPN if you wanted to. There's UPnP options, there's VLAN tagging and stuff like that. There's a lot more options in there if you want to tinker with it, essentially. To wrap up the video, I would recommend this for people that have internet speeds of up to 2.5 gigabits that's planning on using wired backhaul, because for that it's actually really good, especially for the price. And I really like the fact that NETGEAR put two 2.5 gigabit ports, because there is no slowdown up to those speeds, and the satellites also support the 2.5 gigabits. So from that aspect, it's actually fantastic. Now if you're planning on using it for wireless backhaul, you could still get it, but don't expect good speeds from the secondary ones. Or another option is if you're planning on using wired backhaul for these two, and this one's in wireless backhaul, and this one you just kind of place somewhere just so some security cameras or things that don't require a whole lot of bandwidth, that's also fine as well. But if you want to go like absolute beastie mode, you're like, okay, I'm going to run full wireless backhaul, and I need the secondary ones to be really fast, That's when you want to look at the bigger brothers, especially the Orbi 870 or the 970. Beast, absolute beast of a mesh system. That's why they cost a lot more than this, because you're getting a lot more performance out of it. But for this being a budget system, again, 2.5 gigabits, 2.5 gigabits here, fantastic from that. Wired backhaul, very good numbers overall. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. And as always, smash that subscribe button. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I should also mention I will be comparing this to 770, 870, and 970. And again, I will be doing a setup guide video on this particular model as well. So definitely subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. Catch you guys in the next one.